The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
On the top of Kid and Kill the roar so loud, black and gold waving, we're a fearless crowd. Under them lights, the fight burns bright, greatest team assembled, ready for the fight. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a hawk's eye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes. On the field, on the court, in the stands, we shine. The best in the game, and the state is mine. Cover Hawkeyes, walking, watch them break that glass. Dropping dimes, hitting threes, never second guess. Full court hustle, hear the sneaker slide. With the fight in our veins, we red at pride. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a hawk's eye view, see the whole state rise.
All right. Good evening, Iowa fans. Andrew Barber, AJ Hawksby here with you. And Iowa, fresh over a win over top 10 Nebraska last night. 57-52, low-scoring defensive ball game. Just incredible stuff, AJ. First of all, how was your weekend? I know you didn't get to watch the Purdue game. How'd everything go this weekend for you?
Yeah. Dinner was great. Coming out of dinner to see the score of the game, not so great. So I didn't get see the game, but obviously I'm kind of counting on you to kind of fill me in. I don't really care to hear much about it, and I'd much rather talk about that game last night. Because I was very concerned, with the sold out crowd that we didn't show up on Saturday. But no worries now.
Yeah, we can kind of move past that one. It got bad pretty quick. We got hammered on the boards. Purdue shooting lights out. Basically doing things the opposite of the way they did them against Michigan. Where they got destroyed and demolished on the boards, which was insane to watch. But we can easily and quickly move past that one. Yeah, I want to dive right in because we had a good old-fashioned court storming in Iowa City. I love it. Fred Hoiberg didn't love it. There's a lot of controversy today surrounding Fred Hoiberg and a student fan who had his phone out in Fred Hoiberg's face. Kind of. I mean, it was sort of there.
Yeah.
He whacked the kid's phone and unintentionally hit one of our assistant coaches too, upside the head when he did it, and he followed through. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see. I guess I didn't click on the ones. I just watched the one from his camera. I didn't watch the one from. I saw the ones from further back, but no, I didn't really see that. I guess I didn't click on the video, but I don't know. I kind of get his perspective in a sense. watching the video, and after the game, my eyes went right to Sanford, and I go, okay, well, are they going to protect this guy? Because the student section is going to be in his face, barking right into his face. I think they did a really good job there. On that side of things to protect him from any wild fans that are college kids just being college kids. But that was the first thing I asked my group chat of friends, all my Hawkeye buddies, and with about a minute left, I said, do we storm the court here? And they said, absolutely, absolutely. And it's always questionable in my eyes. I don't know. And did we give Nebraska too much credit, right, for being number 9? They are the number 9 team. I do get that. The program, though, it's a garbage program of basketball. So I don't know.
Sure.
You got to celebrate it, though. I understand the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, I do too. And I think even beyond the ranking, the reasoning is it's the first major win in the McCollum era.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the bigger lift. And also there's passion in the building, especially with the students. The student section was full last night, even if the rest of Carver wasn't.
Yeah.
And they were loud and going nuts and doing everything that they could to kind of will the team to victory. And the team was doing that themselves, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a turning of the tide in like the atmosphere of Carver with the sold out crowd against Purdue and the students kind of carrying it against Nebraska. And you love to see that. And court storming, and then Ben McCollum getting in there and mixing it up with the students and celebrating and partying with them that's kind of what you need to get this program back up and excited and where it was kind of in the 80s when things were really, really electric and loud in Carver Hawkeye Arena. So, but game related, okay, we also did your Price Stanford a lot.
Yeah.
Our students did that quite a bit.
Yeah.
But game related, I think this was Bennett Sturtz's best game as an Iowa Hawkeye. I know he's scored more points in other games.
Yeah.
But the defense is what really put it over the top for me because he guarded Price Sanford the whole time.
The whole game
out there. And Price did actually, I think, score 11 or 13 points.
I think it was like 12. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But he really, really, really had to work for all 13 of those. Yeah. And got blocked a couple times. And Sturtz really shut down his space and just followed him all over. And he did a really, really great job as a defender. His best job as a defender, I would say, in the whole season. So
100%.
That's why I think this was Sturtz's best overall game.
Yeah. I mean, that matchup, my eyes were pretty much glued there as much as I could be throughout the whole game. And it's pretty impressive to watch. I mean, he's going to be offensively, he's going to be our guy. We know that. But I mean, defense, I don't think is a problem or anything like that. But he really put up last night and held Price to, I think it was 12. I guess I haven't looked at the box score exactly, but 1 point late towards the game, it was 11. But I mean, I thought overall, the team handled here's what I really kind of wanted to say. I guess when I see the low scoring type of ball game and it's really starting to just trend that way throughout the first half, and then we get to halftime and it's super low scoring, same thing. It just reminded me a lot of the Drake games. I watched probably 20 of the Drake games last year, and that's a lot of their battles where those low scoring games where they just came out on top. They just knew how to win. So I kind of knew that we could, if we could contain that Nebraska offense, which they did hit some threes I think early on, but I mean we contained it. That 3-point shooting. Let me see what their stat line was from three. But yeah, I felt good at half, knowing that it was a low scoring battle. 28-33. We're up by 5 at half. Let me see their 3-point shooting here. Yeah, they shot
Yeah,
five
I was
five for
just
24, 21%. So they only hit 5 threes. I mean, that's very impressive. Has to be probably their lowest amount of threes hit all season. It has to be. I don't know in any other game because I've watched a lot of Nebraska games. Yeah, I mean against Purdue they hit 12. Going against Northwestern the week before, they hit 11. So I'm sure they're consistently hitting 10 double digits every single game. So to do that was impressive. And then rebounding, that was another impressive stat that I mean, they even talked about it too on the broadcast, was rebounding. Rebounds that we had. I mean, the offensive rebounds were crazy. I mean, we haven't done that really all season where we've 12 offensive rebounds. I mean, that's really impressive to just their two. 25 37 to 24 in rebounds. So we have rebounded by 13. That rebounding stat's always the one to always look at. I feel like it tells you a lot in a game, but yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, and Tavion Banks was really great in that regard, especially with the rebounding. He had 10 rebounds last night. He had 6 points, but he is just grinding out there.
Working through like something. He got rolled up on, and he's not 100%. I don't think he's 100%. I just don't think so.
Yeah, there's no chance that he's 100% at all. But he's beyond a warrior. Like I don't even really know what to call it, but he's pretty much solidified himself as kind of that second guy behind Sturts, I would say. And then really love the confidence that Cooper Koch is playing with too, especially early. He hit that 3 early, then hit that shot going to the hoop early. And while it wasn't a pretty offensive game, I mean, McCollum said it best himself. We set offensive basketball back 30 years. But he said that in the post game.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw
that. So I love the self-awareness there. It wasn't his ideal when it comes to offense, but man, like you said, it was reminiscent of some of those Drake games, maybe even a little bit more of a grind than that. And to me, it was kind of reminiscent of peak Virginia basketball.
Yeah,
that's
the call.
That's kind of what the Tony Bennett era was there at Virginia, and those were some great teams. I'm not saying that this Iowa team is among those best Virginia teams or anything like that, because I don't think we're quite there. But that was another thing that I really liked was just the defense seemed to be really ratcheted up. It had really dropped, especially the last 2 games. And then the month of February, we talked about, what was it, a couple weeks ago, about how our defensive efficiency was right near the top 20. Well, it had kind of fallen off. And especially in the month of February, it was more like we were like in the hundreds in terms of like defensive efficiency. And it was like a really bad stretch there. So it was good to see them back to kind of form on the defensive side of the ball. And mentioned the rebounding with Banks, but he really shut off kind of the driving that Sam Hoiberg does. I don't know if you've watched Nebraska, but their offense is like, he gets into the lane, makes all these correct reads, kicks it out, and then Sanford and Lawrence and Mast and Frager and other guys are just splashing threes in your face because Hoiberg's just kicking it out to them, and they're just whipping the ball around. And they couldn't really do that at all because our defense just had them so locked down for most of the night. So,
I mean, I don't know about you, but Lawrence was really getting on my nerves last night with this flopping. That was kind of getting to me early on, and then he kind of had a couple in the second half too. He was flopped. I think he had definitely one foul call on Combs that was just complete and utter flop. But hey, a win's a win. We did what we needed to do. Our stretch doesn't get easier. It gets what is the word I'm looking for? More rewarding if we win. With Wisconsin coming up, and then Ohio State, two teams we're battling for that double bye against. So that's going to be really interesting. And like we talked about prior, Wisconsin at home this year isn't the Wisconsin at home of past. So that'll be real interesting this weekend here before we move on. But yeah, they're 13-2 at home, so they do have a couple home losses. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that game was impressive. We were 94% from the free throw line. That's huge. I mean, huge in a game like this. The rebounds. I mean, literally, you look at it and you go, all right, well, we shot 33% from the field. Okay, that's not great. 26% from three, which we've been struggling pretty badly from the 3-point line there. But then you look at the free throw percentage. You know, we only missed one free throw, 37 rebounds, with 12 of those being offensive. We got 12 turnovers on a team that doesn't really turn the ball over very often. So yeah, it was impressive. We led for 50% of the game. It says here on ESPN. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm happy. We got our big time quality win, huge quality win. I mean, that's the one. You know.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of go there next because it's a quad one win. We're 19-7, we're 9-6, and we're in a good spot to be in the top 8, which we've talked about numerous times on the show. Top 8 of the Big Ten standings is huge because you don't have to play on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yep.
You get to start right out, or wait, is it Tuesday and Wednesday? I could be wrong. Whatever. You don't have to play in either of those first 2 rounds, technically, if you're top 8. So, yeah, the bottom 4 play each other on the first day.
Yeah.
And then the winners of those games play the 9 through 12.
So it would probably be Tuesday, Wednesday. I would play Thursday against those because there's another bye. So so we'd play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, if we were to go all the way.
Yeah.
So we could, I don't think top 4 is necessarily in play. I think we would have to win out and then really need some crazy things to happen.
Yeah.
But NCAA tournament wise, Ken Palm wise, Bart Torvik, which I've talked about before, we're 24th in Ken Palm and Torvik. We're 26th in net. And Torvik does this awesome thing called wins above the bubble. Iowa's plus 2.46, good for 30th, meaning that is like well above where any team that you would say was bubble last year.
Yeah.
So we're not even on the bubble, really.
Yeah.
Especially, we maybe kind of were, but heading into the game.
Yeah.
I think we were in that 8-9 seed territory heading into the game. And now I think we're in that 7, and with a good finish, maybe back in that 6-7 conversation. And that's really what this kind of win did. Our tournament odds are like 99.9% now. Our current seed bracket matrix kind of pulls all the brackets together. I think the consensus is kind of a 7 right now as of today, with a projection of being a 6. So
no,
that's awesome.
that's what I saw as well. I love looking at bracketology. It just gets me going. It gets me excited for March. Yeah, I think the 6th seed is where I'd really like to see the Hawks. It gives us a real good chance to make a little bit of a run here. With the team that we have. you got teams like St. Louis and Miami of Ohio that are probably going to be closer to those 11 seeds, possibly, depending on if they don't win their conference,
St.
tourneys.
Louis, St. Louis is floating around that 8-9
Yeah,
range,
but
man.
they did you see them lose? They lost last night.
Oh, did they? I
Yeah,
don't think it'll drop them that hard, to be quite
yeah,
honest.
yeah. I mean, we'll see, right? But
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm just thinking ahead. I mean that 6 seed just gives you a little bit better opportunity, in my opinion, because I think everything I looked at yesterday before the game had us in the 8-9 against Duke if we were to win that 8-9 game. And I'll tell you what, Duke I like a lot. So I don't like that matchup for us with Cam Boozer. I don't know about that one. We don't have anyone to stop that guy. But anyways, just thinking ahead, I would really like to see us in a 6 seed. So yeah, we got to come out with a big win against Wisconsin and Ohio State. Those are two huge games for us. Wisconsin coming off a loss now against Ohio State at Ohio State. So yeah, we'll have next week. Next week actually is the Ohio State games at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. So we'll have to maybe push up or find a different time, I guess, for next week.
Yeah.
Just FYI, just want to keep you.
Thanks for keeping me on.
Yeah,
Keep me on schedule, man.
yeah,
No. Yeah, that is a good one. Shout out Ben Stan on all those metrics, by the way. I mean,
yeah,
I'm always following him because
yep.
he's nose deep into the metrics and always posting that stuff on Twitter. So shout out him. Because I'm gonna steal from him again. And basically, with that wins above bubble, it essentially means that we could split the next two against Ohio State and next two after Wisconsin against Ohio State and Penn State and still come out ahead and still be on like the right side of the bubble. Not that we want to do that because the ideal is going 2-0 there. I think especially with at Wisconsin being such a daunting game now, and then Michigan, number one team in the country, and then at Nebraska, I think you would ideally like to go 2-3 at a minimum.
Yeah.
And you're looking at kind of at that Ohio State, Penn State as your kind of your two
Mm-hmm.
that you need to kind of have some positive momentum to end the year.
Yeah.
And then, it'd be more ideal if we were to steal one of those other three I mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, you beat number one Michigan at home. That's huge to end the season. But Michigan isn't, they're beatable. We saw Northwestern really keep up with them. They did pull away late in that one. I don't know if you had tuned into it, but I did turn it on. So, I mean, it was to be expected, but I mean, they do have seems like a little bit of a weakness, but yeah, I mean, they're solid all around. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd like to win the next three. That would be huge for us. And I don't think it would kill the momentum that we had if we go up against a number one ranked and really elite Michigan team and lose at home. And then you go to Nebraska and, if you lose there, it's tough, but it doesn't hurt you too much or kill you too much. But man, I think we match up well against Nebraska. I really do, especially if we slow that pace down. I really like that matchup again. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Wisconsin, have you looked into Wisconsin? I know they got Blackwell, right? Their guard. He's been there for what seems like 7-8 years, but I haven't really watched a whole lot of Wisconsin this year.
Yeah, I haven't watched a ton of Wisconsin basketball. They do have those wins against Michigan, against Michigan State. They have Nick Boyd, who you might remember him from that FAU squad that went to the Final Four.
Okay.
And he's quite the player. Blackwell and Boyd is kind of where it starts. I mean, Boyd averages 20 points per game. Blackwell averages 19 points per game, and that's kind of their backcourt duo. And then you have Nolan Winter there, who was there last year, kind of their big man. And then just a bunch of nice role players kind of around that. They're not an especially deep team, but they can kind of spread you out and hit threes, and similar to Nebraska in a lot of ways, but I would say maybe a little bit more advanced with the guard play, especially with Boyd and Blackwell.
Yeah.
Not that Hoiberg and Lawrence are bad, but it's just different.
Yeah.
A different class of guard, I would say, with those two. They beat Illinois on the road as well. I didn't mention that. So,
Jeez, they got some big wins.
yeah, I mean, they crushed Michigan State at home, beat Illinois and Michigan on the road. But conversely, they went on the road to Ohio State last night and got crushed.
Yeah.
So they also went on the road at Indiana, lost in overtime, kind of controversially. So they're definitely a Jekyll Hyde basketball team. And
Minnesota played them close both games, 78-75 at Minnesota, and then at Kohl Center, 67-63. They beat Minnesota. Actually, Minnesota, I remember I actually watched the first half of that one. I think Minnesota was dominating in that game. Yeah, 35-17 at halftime. Minnesota dominated Wisconsin, and I actually went to bed and I said, you know what? Minnesota's got this one. And I woke up and checked the score, but yeah, Wisconsin scored 50 in the second half. So, I mean, they definitely have the offense, it looks like. But, yeah, see what happens.
Yeah. So that one's Sunday, I believe, in the afternoon.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. And that is a big one. Would love to kind of get that one if I'm Iowa. And it would just be another quad one opportunity, just another day, another quad one for the Hawks. So we've got 3 of those remaining in the regular season, I believe. Because I don't think Penn State will count as quad one. Yeah, it's going to be a tough schedule down the stretch here, but I think what this team showed last night is that they're back up for it. So
very impressive. Very impressive. Got me excited. Defensively, that we were all the way there. Offensively, I think we're still struggling to kind of find somebody to fill the void. Banks really hasn't had a whole lot of offensive production. Rebounding, like you said, was great. Koch did well. Fulgaris had 7. I think, again, I know you circle Fulgaris every week. You know, how did he do? I think he is like an X factor, like, to our team. If we can get a couple threes out of him, get him down low every once in a while, I think it really does help our team out. So we'll see what happens with these, next 2 battle-tested teams that are right there in the hunt with us. It's exciting, nerve-wracking, but it's good to get that big one out of the way, and now we kind of have that, and hopefully we can play more freely. Everyone can show off their offensive firepower on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think that might be what we need to do. Maybe not necessarily our offensive firepower, but I think we need to kind of somehow, a lot like what we did with Nebraska, really slow down that game and turn it into an old school Wisconsin game. Turn it into a Bo Ryan type Wisconsin game and really muck things up. And yeah, I think that would be more ideal. And maybe that's who this team is for the rest of the year. We also need one of Combs, Howard, Sage to step it up offensively. Yep. Combs is injured, I think, is what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Like he's been having a rough stretch for a while, and I think he's playing through an injury too. A lot of guys have injuries, but that's also kind of the win that tells me that they can do some damage in March.
Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of the gutsy pull it out in March, survive and advance kind of win that they pulled off against Nebraska, against a theoretically on paper a superior team.
Yeah.
Right. But we had kind of the better game plan, the better coach, the better point guard, and that equals win in college basketball sometimes. So
I think I kind of think that the way Ben kind of built his Drake team, which is pretty much what we're looking at right now, and his type of philosophy is perfect for a run at any point in time. Defense wins you championships. That's what his team commits to. We just, again, I got to see something from somebody. I like Sage a lot. I really do. I think he's hesitant sometimes to pull the trigger, but I think he's got it. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here in this next two. It's really going to tell us a lot. Even if we hang close with Wisconsin, I would be okay with that. I obviously want to win, but if we hang close with them at the Kohl Center, that makes me feel a little bit better about our type of team and where we're going to go. And then we have to beat Ohio State then at that point. So,
yeah, no, in my mind, I would like to just beat Ohio State and Penn State and put everything to bed.
Yeah.
Put everything to rest. That really wraps up top 8 for us too, most likely. So, and that would probably put us at 11-9 then with a 2-3 finish. I think 11-9 should be the expectation, and anything better is gravy. 12-8, 13-7, 14-6. If we went out, I don't think those are realistic, but I could see like 11-9, 12-8. That should be the realistic goal, realistic finish for this men's team, I think, over the final stretch 5. And then maybe win a game or 2, depending on who you get matched up with in the Big Ten tournament. Make it to Saturday in the Big Ten tournament, make it to the semis and see what happens.
Huge. Yeah.
That'd be huge. But I digress. Anything Iowa men's basketball related before we take a break and then maybe move on? You're cutting out on me, AJ.
No, all the Nebraska fans being upset online is pretty fun to watch. So I was enjoying it last night, going through all the comments section.
And all the weirdo Iowa State fans coming to the defense of Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah.
Can we stop? And can we also stop with the weirdo Iowa State fans making fun of us storming the court?
Yeah, that's what I didn't understand. Like,
do you guys not have any? Do ISU fans not have any self-awareness? Because you once stormed the court as the number 4 team in the nation against unranked Iowa. 83-82. I get it that you won on a game-winning shot, but you stormed the court as a top 4 team against an unranked team at home. So I don't ever want to hear a thing from Iowa State fans about court storming and when you should or shouldn't do it. Yeah. So don't come at me with that.
That's too funny.
But also, we need to do something about this menace, Fred Hoiberg, too. This guy's a menace. He's on the loose. Come on, Big Ten. We need to step in. Sanctions.
Did we get fined at all for the court storming? Do they fine in the Big Ten?
I don't know. I don't know if we did or not, and I don't know if the Big Ten does that, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I know. I know. At one point, it was a thing that was happening quite often. I don't remember if it was the ACC or who it was, but I remember them talking about it because it was like every other night there was another court storm, and they were trying to slow it down. I think a little bit, but
yeah, I think the Big 12 and the ACC and maybe even the SEC have rules about this, but I don't know if the Big 10 has any court storming rules necessarily. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and take a break now if you're fine with that, and then we'll come back.
Let's do it.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
Welcome back to Cooking with Billy and Willie. We're already in progress because great cooking doesn't wait. Today, we're turning things up with Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces.
You know, this chicken and the beef here and all this stuff is fantastic. It tastes fantastic with this Naked Dave stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, this barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the commercial for Naked Dave's. Mm-hmm. That's why we're like pretend like we're naked. We pretend like we're naked, and then we eat, and it'll be a good commercial.
It will be, for sure.
Hey, why are you really naked? You didn't have to be all the way naked. We were pretend.
It's supposed to, I wanted it to be like realistic, you know, like Daniel Day-Lewis or something.
Well, one thing you can keep the chair after this. Where's the director?
What's the problem? What is your guys' problem? It's fine.
What? Why's he naked?
I told him we were doing a naked commercial at your house.
This is like the worst porno flick ever.
It's Naked Dave's. Look at Dave.
It really is good.
If you want bold flavor that doesn't hold back, try Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces. Find it at your local Hy-Vee grocery store. Ask your grocer to carry it or order online today at www.littlewolffoods.com. And remember, Naked Dave's, you don't have to be naked to use it. In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest: Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside, and you enter a place where tradition still matters, where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations: Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with, a meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history, including the old-fashioned we've become known for: balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa, where Iowa comes for steak, done right.
Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
All right, welcome back. Second half of the Hawks Eye View here. Bit of a surprise and some football news for the Iowa football team today. I don't know if you saw.
I have not.
Omar Young, our running backs coach, who was in his first year replacing Liddell Betts, is going to go to the Raiders to be their running back coach.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So 1 year at Iowa, and he's on to being with the Raiders.
Wow.
And coaching Ashton Genty. So we will see kind of what happens. We got to kind of make a running back coach hire kind of late in the game. And I think like Kirk Ferentz does, in true Kirk Ferentz fashion, he'll take his time, won't rush anything, go through the process. I don't really know off the top of my head of any real obvious candidates for that one. Yeah, maybe you look at we just brought in LJ Phillips. Maybe you look at his position coach and maybe bump him up. I think that's a possibility. Also, Norvell is pretty decent. Jay Norvell, who got hired as an analyst, is a decent wide receiver coach. You could put him in charge of wide receivers and shift Budmeyer over in charge of running backs for 1 year if you don't like your permanent options. So there's things like that they can do, but maybe a little bit of a surprise. I think Omar Young's a good guy, but I don't know if he was connecting with guys in the same way that Liddell Betts was connecting with guys.
Yeah.
Like Liddell Betts is kind of a rare guy, I think, when it comes to position coaches. So he's with the Dolphins now. He was with the Giants. He's with the Miami Dolphins now, and coaching running backs there, obviously. So huge.
Yeah,
huge
I mean,
for him. But
whoever comes into that coaching spot has a handful of talent there. So it is an appealing spot for someone to come. If you find the right person, I don't think anyone really probably passes that up with that backfield. You're sitting there with literally a plethora of running backs that all have different tools, and it'll be interesting to see. I did not hear that though. Interesting.
Yeah, so we've got our work cut out for us there, and like you said, very talented room with Moulton, Phillips, Xavier Williams. I mean, McNeil.
Yeah.
It's just insane depth that we have at that position, and then you team that up with what's going to be another good offensive line. That's kind of a dream situation to be in if you're an up-and-coming running backs coach. You would jump at the chance for a job like that. So we'll find someone, I think. I just don't know where they'll come from. So maybe next week we'll have more clarity on kind of that. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with, like, sometimes people go, oh, man, a coach is leaving. What's wrong? LeVar Woods left. Now this guy, what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, they're leaving for promotions. That's a good thing. It's not leaving. They're not leaving because they stunk at their job. So I think that's the sign of a healthy program, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like you have some, like Iowa's been lucky to not have a lot of turnover until like this season, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I did hear on the radio on KXNO they were talking about the spring game was announced on April 26th.
Okay.
So Yeah,
Is that the open spring practice that they
that would have
give
been the
us?
open. Yeah, the open spring practice, which you know, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a whole lot anymore. It used to be a thing. I mean, I remember when they came to Valley Stadium here in Des Moines. That was always cool. I went a couple times, and it was cool to go to. But yeah, I don't think it's all it's hyped up to be anymore. They used to put them on ESPN. Remember they'd have every spring game on almost on ESPN.
Yeah.
That's not even a thing anymore. So
Yeah. And it really hasn't been a thing for as long as Kirk Ferentz has been at Iowa too. Like we never really played like a true game.
yeah, like a true game. Yeah, it's mostly just
Yeah.
practice.
There's definitely a part of practice where it is 11-on-11 in those kinds of open practices. There is some 11-on-11 stuff going on, but it's not really a true full-on football game. So what are you looking forward to the most from spring ball? Because that's really gearing up now, and I think we'll start to get some tidbits news as spring ball kind of unfolds. Is there anything you're really looking for in spring?
Two positions, position groups on each side. I'd say the DBs I'm circling, who's going to be where, and then the offensive line. I mean, I just always want I always get concerned about our offensive line when we lose, a couple guys that are rocks for our O line. So I mean, I think those two groups we'll see. And then you never really know until the season actually starts. And, when we get going, even the first game of the season this year, I don't know. It was a kind of a rough game against U Albany. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what we are. I mean, we're pretty good. Our defense is great, but so, yeah, I think it just takes a little while to really find out what our offensive line looks like. And then the DBs, I'm just curious on what's that going to look like? What are the rotations? Who's going to be where with the transfers coming in?
Gotcha. My mind is, I'm really surprised you didn't say this. My mind is set on quarterback. I think that's kind of maybe the biggest battle. Obviously, maybe it's too obvious, but I think everything we've heard is Hecklinski has the inside track, but there's been some tidbits, some rumors out there. The Browns showed out pretty well so far in spring ball, so it may be a little bit closer than we all realize. I mean, I think there's a certain something kind of attitude leadership wise that Hecklinski might have that gives him more of an edge.
He was at the game last night, I saw.
Yeah. He was up there with Trevor Lauk and Reese Vanderzee.
Yeah.
Those are figured to be three pretty big keys to our offense.
Yeah.
So that was good. And he's rocking a mullet. So I'm always gonna go for the quarterback that has a mullet versus the one that doesn't have a mullet. So
I just kind of already have in my head that he is going to be the starter, and I probably should stop thinking that way because it is still a battle there, So that's a good point.
And I know that a lot of fans' memory of Hank Brown is that play against Indiana, and that's unfortunate because I do think up until that point Brown was performing really well, and it was really holding down that backup spot. And he does have a lot of talent. It's just sometimes we kind of saw it. He gets any sort of pressure, his mechanics kind of get out of whack. I do think there's talent there. And if anybody can get the most out of that, it's going to be Tim Lester. Because we saw, remember, we were all really worried about Gronowski through 2 games.
Yeah.
Last year, we were all panicking, hitting the panic button a little bit on Gronowski, and that all turned out more than fine.
Yeah.
So I don't think if Hank Brown wins the job, we should go, oh, this is the classic Kirk Ferentz move.
Yeah.
oh, he's going with the statue.
Yeah.
Uh, Hank Brown is more of a pocket guy, but he's not a complete statue either.
Yeah.
He does have some escapability, some mobility. He's not going to blow you away with his speed, and neither is Hecklinski. Hecklinski is probably more of a runner than Brown, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good problem to have, man. I think those two guys can actually push each other. It's going to be a real interesting quarterback battle. We haven't had one of those in a long while.
A while. But I can absolutely see those headlines right now. You're 100% right, Barber.
Yeah.
Those headlines will definitely be out there if Hank Brown wins the job. I mean, it's going to be.
Yeah, and I encourage people to not do that because I do think he has talent. I think the talent around him, specifically from the wide receiver spot, is going to be better than what recent Iowa quarterbacks have had to work with. So, and like we said, the running back, the offensive line, the tight end room, all in a good spot too.
Yeah.
So any quarterback that steps in is going to have a lot to work with. We're going to be able to set them up for a lot of success, I think. So I just don't think it's going to be a quarterback's still important. I just don't think it's going to be as important that we have just some absolute stud at quarterback this year. I think we're going to have the talent to kind of work around and navigate that if the quarterback play is just okay, just average. I think that's just fine. So, all right. I feel like we've kind of buried the lead because the women's team is back on track too. And they completed their season sweep of Nebraska. And really, honestly, since like 2014, Iowa just owns Nebraska in all the major sports. And so this is just kind of solidifies that. But it was good to see them really come out on President's Day, kind of an awkward time, awkward tip off there at 11 a.m. and just really just jump on Nebraska right out of the gate and not let up. I don't know if you got to see really much of any of it.
I watched it all. Yeah.
Yeah. It was what stood out to you the most from that win against Nebraska?
I mean, Hayden, she had a crazy performance, a career high 27 points. She was lights out. I don't know that she missed. Did she? 12 of 15. I'm sorry. I guess every time I poked my head up and I was watching, she was just right there. From, I don't know, 6-7 feet out, just hitting another jumper. She was on fire. 27 points, 11 rebounds. So that's your performance right there that I looked at. Houston off the bench did a good job stepping in. Stolke didn't have a great game, but we didn't need her to. So,
I noticed that. Hayden, Wright, Chit Chat, and Stolke. Those are kind of our big three. But Stremlo had a heck of a day too. Like she had 17 points, 6 of 7, and she's playing well now that she's in the starting lineup. Addie Deal kind of still struggling, it looks like. Would just love somehow, some way, now that Stremlo and Houston are kind of consistently rolling. I would just love if there's some way if Addie Deal could just come back to that 3-game stretch that we saw from her.
Yeah.
If there's any way that she could do that at the same time that our big three are firing, I don't know, just raises the level of this team. And let's see, this women's team is now 20-5, and they are currently
a 3 seed in the Big Ten. Yep.
Third in the Big Ten standings. So I think like we've talked about before, the goal for them should remain to just be one of those top 4 in the Big Ten to finish out the season. They have even less games than the men. I think they only have 4 games left
Correct.
They go to Purdue on Thursday night, tomorrow night.
Worst
Purdue's
team in the Big
awful.
Ten. Yeah.
Purdue's
Second to worst.
awful. And then they host a big one on Sunday. So big games at home on Sunday for both teams. One at 11, one at 3, hosting 22-4 Michigan. Get out there and support this team because they are kind of back after those 3 bad losses there against USC, UCLA, and Minnesota. They've rebounded with win over ranked Washington and now win at Nebraska. So get out there and support them because they're going to need it against this Michigan squad, I think.
You win 3 of your next 4, and you secure that double, or is it a double bye or triple bye then at that point?
I guess it's technically a triple bye.
Yeah.
I keep calling it a double bye, but I forget that we've expanded so much that it's technically a triple bye now.
Yeah. And I mean, I was looking at I can't remember who. I think maybe it was just the committee in the women's. I think they came out with their top 4 seeds in each region. I thought it said committee on when something I was watching, but they had us as the 11th overall, and in that spot for a 3 seed. Or sorry,
Perfect.
3 seed. Yeah.
Perfect. And I think that's exactly where we should be. Given how the season has unfolded, maybe, you don't trip up against USC and Minnesota and you're more in that 2 seed conversation, but that's okay. There's still time. I mean, if you won out in the regular season, which is feasible,
yeah,
because you play Purdue and Wisconsin on the road, but they're awful.
Yeah.
You play Illinois at home, who's a decent team. And Michigan, obviously, who is just ahead of you in the standings. That's the other thing about that game with Michigan is if we beat them and we, win out, then we are probably going to finish second.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten, most likely, if we win out, I would say, because we're 11-3 and they're 13-2, so they would, be tied with us, and it's our only meeting of the season there at best. So huge game. Not that we don't want to win the Big Ten regular season, because we do. It's just not realistic because nobody's catching UCLA.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then from there, depending on who you play and beat in the Big Ten tournament, say you make it to the finals of the Big Ten tournament and play UCLA again, completely possible, especially if you're the 2 seed. That probably puts you in that 2 seed conversation for the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
I don't think it's maybe that simple. I'm probably oversimplifying it, but I think in a lot of ways, 2 seed in the Big Ten equals 2 seed in the NCAA tournament for the Iowa women.
If you win out, I think if you beat Michigan, because I think that's who you're fighting with for that other 2 seed. I think the Big Ten gets 2. I think the ACC is probably just going to get UConn as the 1 seed. And then you got the SEC, who has Texas. Is it UNC that's really good too?
Texas, Vanderbilt, LSU.
Oh, yeah. South Carolina. And I guess the ACC has Louisville, Duke. But yeah, I mean you're looking at a 2 seed if you can, upset Michigan, win out here, and then get to the championship. I don't see how that isn't. I mean, it is simple. I get you're just spewing it out there, but I think that would make sense.
Yeah.
And Iowa has the pop to be a 2 seed. Like
they do.
It's seen as a blue blood. Iowa is seen as a blue blood in women's basketball,
And in doing that, winning out, going to Sunday of the Big Ten tournament, you would rack up enough quality wins that would probably rack you up 2 for sure, but maybe 3 quad 1 wins on your way to doing that. And put you at 5 losses, 26-6 on the year.
Yeah.
If you lost to UCLA in the championship game. And your only bad loss would be USC, maybe. It's probably 2 seed worthy.
Yeah.
So either way, I think the big thing with winning back-to-back games against Washington and Nebraska probably put Iowa firmly in the driver's seat for hosting opening weekend.
For sure.
And that was a question mark for us maybe a week ago. Or really even 2 weeks ago, was a big question mark was, did they have enough to get that done? And I think the answer now is yes. They did it. They're going to be a top 4 seed.
I think you win the games you're supposed to win here.
Yep.
Even that, and you get a Big Ten. You get the triple bye, whatever you want to call it, and you get 1 win there. I think you're already, getting that bye or getting the home court. The game is at 2 on. Oh no, that's the wrong game. Whoops. What did we say? 6 o'clock. Oh, 6 o'clock tomorrow night's Purdue. Okay. Oh, that's Big Ten plus. I don't have Big Ten plus, but
no.
I don't
think I'll need to tune in for that one. I'm going to go out there and say I don't think I'll need to tune in for Iowa Purdue women's basketball, because there's no world where we shouldn't win that game by double digits. So
yeah.
And let's just win out too. Let's just get our revenge on UCLA and do the whole bit and just win out and win 7 in a row and go into the NCAA tournament as a really hot 2 seed.
Yeah.
And see what we can get done from there.
I like it.
I just love that both of our basketball programs are going to be playing very meaningful games in March.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to be. Just having meaningful March basketball back in our lives, especially on the men's side.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets me pumped up.
Yeah. And we're heading into what I'm going to call March. We're calling it. You know how they say Izzo? It's Izzo's month in March. I'm going to start calling this McCollum March.
I like it.
So, all right. Love it. Anything else, Hawks? AJ?
Helly Ball is back. Iowa baseball, 34 runs over. I think that was Tuesday night against UW Platteville. 34 runs, 34-5. Started the season 2-1. Lost to K-State in their first matchup of the season, 15-5, and then beat Air Force 4-3. Helly Ball is back. 34 runs against UW Platteville, so that was crazy to see that. But yeah, I was looking on Twitter. I always follow through Twitter, and I think it was 21-3 at one point, and I go, oh, okay, and I tuned back in to look at Twitter later in the night, and 34 record runs for the Hawkeyes and baseball. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. I'm not too in tune this season with the baseball team. Brody Brecht last season, and I try to keep my eyes on the team. So I'll keep tuning in throughout the season. I know they do come to Principal Park in May against Purdue, so I'd like to go out there and see them play. And it's a good start, I guess, scoring 34 runs after a tough loss at Kansas State. So,
yeah, I am. I'm not pumped up for Iowa baseball season, maybe like I should be. I'm pumped up for Major League Baseball for some reason. I don't know why.
You're a Cubs fan, right?
Yeah, I think I just want to have home run betting back in my life.
Oh, Barber.
I just
The lottery home run. Do you just pick like
I
6
just want
guys
to
in
be
a day?
putting $1 on like 7 guys that home run in
Oh,
one
too
day.
funny. That's hilarious.
I just home run lottos just needed my life.
I love it.
So
Awesome.
yeah, no, and also I think the Chicago Cubs are going to be a decent baseball team this year.
I hope so.
So yeah, I don't know. But I make this vow every year that I'm going to watch Iowa baseball. I never follow through on it like I should. Yeah, we'll see. I know that Heller Ball's been fun for a lot of years, so hopefully the team can find some success, and seems like they might if they can just score 34 runs in every game.
Yeah.
No,
And the Big Ten is a lot better now that UCLA, USC, Oregon, Washington came into the Big Ten. So the Big Ten is actually worth something now, to where they're not just getting 2 or 3 teams in or 4 teams in. Now they're getting 8. So
because isn't like the SEC kind of the
powerhouse,
the
absolutely.
powerhouse of baseball?
Yeah, 100%.
And softball too, I think.
Yeah. Oklahoma softball is just
and they're in the SEC. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
cool.
That will do it for us, I think. So, thank you for listening, everybody. We appreciate you as always. Have a great night. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Talking football, talking hoops, every sport in between. I don't WA, yeah, you know what I mean. From a hawk's eye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes.